Hey guys, my name is Olisa. Thank you so much for dropping by. Be sure to subscribe for more great content. Today's video is a bit of a different one because we are talking about a drill, because I bought a drill and I want to tell you about it in case you want to buy the same one. So I bought the Makita 10mm cordless drill. I'm going to read this so that I don't get it wrong. But yeah, I've had it for almost a month now, so I just wanted to explain my experience with it and maybe give you some pointers, what to do, what not to do, so that you can figure out basically if this is the right drill for you. This is how it comes with that cardboard over it. Very excited to actually have a drill finally, because I've been talking about this for months. Literally since last year, I've been filtering through Jumia to try to figure out what my best bet is, which drill I should go for. And initially I'd actually decided on a corded drill, just because the power is endless because it's plugged in, so you don't actually have to worry about the 12 volt versus 18 volt versus 21 volt debate. So that was my way of circumventing it. But then at the end of the day, I decided to go for a cordless one, just because I feel like it's so much more portable, so much more convenient. If I want to drill something, I don't have to have a socket nearby. And also, drills and other appliances don't always work with extension cables, as I learned the hard way when I burnt 3 extension cables trying to keep my oven plugged in. So yeah, that was a fun experience, and I didn't want to repeat that, so I ended up going for my Makita cordless drill, and I really like it. So I like the packaging that it comes in, but I want to travel with it, and this doesn't really feel very practical, unfortunately. This is what you get in the kit. So I haven't actually taken the time to arrange this properly. I can't remember if this is exactly how it came, but basically this is how I store it. So this is a drill itself. It is an 18 volt drill. It comes with 2 batteries, which is very important. That didn't used to be the standard, but these days it is. So if you're only getting 1 battery, you're basically getting conned. So it's 18 volt, 2 batteries, and the charger. So this is how you put it on. Rather, this is what the drill looks like. Let me show you how to attach a battery. This is how it is. This is the front of the drill. They literally slide in and click, and that's how you know it is secure. And my drill is secure. I feel like all the videos I've watched about a drill and the review and telling you how to use it or whatever, they don't actually get into the super basics, because I did learn how to put on my battery in a video, but then when I press it like this, it's not working. So I almost called the sales guy and bitched him out, because I'm you sent me something that's not working. But this button here, don't know if you can see the movement. That button is the sort of controlling button, right? So it controls if the drill is drilling forward or removing the screw, drilling backwards, right? So if you have it perfectly centered, it actually turns off the drill and locks it, so you cannot use it. So you actually have to choose a forward or backward motion, and then you are good to go. And it took me an hour to figure that out, because that's not really something people talk about, because they expect that everyone knows this. So yeah, I just saved you an hour of your life. You are welcome. How to take out the battery: it does have this push button here, so when you push it down, you can just slip it right out, and this is how it goes back in. I noticed there are some lights over here that are supposed to guide you on your battery percentage and how much is left, but I never noticed that before my battery died. So I don't know if I'm just not looking, or if it just doesn't. I don't know what happened. This is a very affordable drill, so I guess that's maybe something you give up by going the more affordable route. But honestly, I've been pretty happy with this one. I only paid about 5,600 for it, including drill bits. So I was gonna pay 4,000 for the corded drill, but it didn't come with any drill bits, and I didn't want to because I know so little about drills, I didn't want to pretend I'd be able to find the right drill bits for it. So when I saw this was on offer, went for it. Okay, so here's my experience with the seller. I bought it on Madukani shop online, because I went to Jumia, filtered for my drill, and then went to Google to research the drill, and then found it being sold on Madukani shop, because Jumia had this for I think about 6,200, 300, and that's without delivery and without drill bits, right? But then when I found it on Madukani shop, they had this plus a whole bunch of drill bits and screw bits and every accessory I would need with it for cheaper. So it was about 5,600 if I can remember correctly, right? So I was really excited. But then again, I've never heard of Madukani shop, so I was like, and also this isn't sponsored. I wish it was sponsored, but it's not sponsored. This is just my experience, because I thought this was a really important thing for me to like give you a heads up about, because on the website, I've never heard of this website before, right? So I'm not just going to go online and send someone money and then hope they deliver the product. So on the website, they have the option of ordering over WhatsApp. So I actually decided to exercise that option for once, and instead of just like placing my order, I asked them, do you do payment on delivery? And the guy was so receptive to it, and he was like, yes, we're happy with that. Like that works for us, even though it's not explicitly mentioned on the website. So now when you're shopping online for anything, not just even a drill, if you can get payment on delivery, because they're sending their rider to you, it's not you sending your rider to them, right? So it shouldn't be an issue, because their rider will just go back with their product if you refuse to pay. So obviously you make the payment on M-Pesa or whatever before the rider goes. So yeah, payment on delivery, always, always, always. But I found this on their website, liked the price, liked that it came with all the accessories. And I mentioned in the previous video that it was in that week where I was calling my carpenter and his number was just not even Mteja, and not like off, not even like the Mteja of we'll let you know when this person is available again. It was just telling me he is no longer available. So I didn't know if he ditched his number. I didn't know if he like left the country. Like I didn't know what was happening. And this was like 3 days and I tried reaching him and could not reach him. So I decided that I'm going to buy a drill. So when I found it with all the drill bits and everything, I was so excited, immediately purchased it, right? And at that point, I'd already figured out the leg design that I wanted to create for my dining table, because I still have that kitchen door. So we removed the kitchen wall. That means the kitchen door that was there is no longer necessary. But I did decide to keep it handy because I knew I wanted to like upcycle it into something, right? So after buying this drill and deciding that I'm going to do the door myself, I also knew that I don't know how to do the design that I decided on with the carpenter. So we were talking about like some interlocking legs to like really make it stable and whatever. And I could not do that at all. But there is the original design for the dining table that I've wanted all along. So I decided might as well go for it. Like, let's try to make this work. Let's try to make this happen. So this drill came on like Thursday, and on Saturday I went to Kitangala and bought myself a bunch of wood. So I got a lot of wood, tried to get it like cut in ways that I thought would work for the table. So essentially, here was my plan. This is the door, the kitchen door that was removed. It's big, stable, thick wood, right? So if I recover it in wood, then I can make it look like it's one big piece of wood versus like a reclaimed kitchen door. And then I would get legs on each side. And I wanted the solid, straight, like very minimalist looking legs. So I decided, instead of wasting a bunch of money like getting like proper thick hardwood, I would get plywood cut into the correct like length and height and whatever. But then I would get multiples of them and then just have them like standing next to each other and then cover that off with wood. I hope this is making any sort of sense. So yeah, that's basically my very first project with this drill, was actually drilling legs into the base, because this is the door. I wanted like a piece of wood to sort of stabilize it, to sort of connect the legs. So there's a piece of wood here and then the legs on that piece of wood. So all of that, just drilling and connecting all of that, I did record myself doing all of it, and it was a bit of a learning process. And unfortunately at some point I did end up breaking one of the drill bits, but then I've learned so much just by doing. Like I feel like woodworking and like building things is definitely something you learn on the job. It's not something you can theoretically learn, because I watched so many videos telling me how to do it, but until I actually started drilling holes through one piece of wood into a leg and trying to make them stable and trying to make them stand and trying to make them not wobble is yeah, it's been a bit of a process, but I'm really happy with the progress I've made so far. So initially the dining table video was going to be its own video, but right now I don't think I would recommend you to follow my steps. Like, I'm not even like finishing it fully, just because it is a bit wobbly, and no dining table I've ever sat at is wobbly. So thank God it's just me who's using it. So for now, it's been such a help. It's literally over there on the second oval arch that I created with the pink paint. So it's bringing together like the whole vibe of the place that I want, but at the same time I'm feeling like I want to put a pause on that and I want to actually build my kitchen island before I continue with the dining table. But another reason I'm really excited that I did end up buying the drill is because I have been able to do other home projects. So when I was painting this navy wall, I think we all saw my socket was just hanging and like the wires are all exposed and like it's been crazy. But with the drill, it literally took 5 seconds to just drill a screw in and like hold up the socket, and I don't have to call my electrician and pay him 1,000 bob to change the socket from the single to the double and like mount it on the wall properly, you know. So it's actually already saving me money, because also with my wardrobe, I did have one of the hooks, one of the hinges. I did have one of the hinges loose and it had completely come off the wall, and I was able to just like drill that back so easily. And all of that happened because of the confidence that I built in building and like low-key failing, but kind of being happy with this dining table as it is right now. So yeah, I feel like if you're on the fence about getting a drill, definitely look into it. I will have a link, if I hopefully it's still like on the website and available, but I will have a link of this particular drill in the description down below so you can check it out if it's something you're interested in. The only downside with this drill is that all the videos I was watching were talking about the hammer function of a drill, and the one that was plugged in also had the hammer function. So with the hammer function, it like gives the drill more power, so it can just like hammer through everything it needs to hammer through. So basically you can drill through concrete and not just like wood, right? But unfortunately this one only has a drill option, it doesn't have the hammer function, so I cannot drill into concrete. And that also means that when I'm drilling into wood, if I'm not like careful and like going back and forth and like really creating that hole, then sometimes it does get stuck in there, and then when I come up, like when I remove the drill comes off, but then the drill bit is missing. So yeah, there are more powerful drills in the market than this, but I know like my friend told me her friend bought a 12-volt drill for 12,000 shillings, and maybe that one has a hammer function, but for me it wasn't worth it to spend that much more money, when in reality I will still need to call someone, because like I'm sad I don't have the hammer function, because I want to buy a shower caddy and like drill it into the wall, and this cannot drill into the wall at all. So I will still have to call someone and pay someone to do that. But at the same time, for like little things like changing out cabinet hinges, like I want to change out all the ones in the kitchen, and I can do that. Or changing out my door pulls for the kitchen, I can do that. Like changing out even the door on the like main door, like the handle things, I can change that as well. And that's really exciting to actually be able to get things done myself and not have to rely on an external party and like be on their schedule, whereas I want to get like little things done, you know. It's not even like a big thing. The socket wasn't a big thing, the closet wasn't a big thing. Now I want to build drawers, so I got a ridiculous quotation, and 19,000 shillings to build me 6 drawers in my wardrobe. That's not gonna, like, I'm not gonna pay that. So I am excited to actually be able to like build them myself, because now I have the confidence again from this dining table. A square box thing should really not be an issue. So yeah, I do think these are definitely worth investing in, especially the ones with the 2 batteries, because I'll be drilling, the battery will die halfway, all I have to do is switch it out and put this on the charger, and like it does not interrupt my work whatsoever. So I'm really happy with this drill. Definitely recommend it for a beginner. For a more professional person, I feel like you would know the technical failings of this drill and be like more frustrated. But for me, as a first-time drill buyer, as a first-time woodworker, this has been working really well. Very happy with it. I do want a nail gun, but I don't really trust myself with it, so I'm making do with the next best thing, and I am really happy. So just to show you really quickly, let me get the accessories that I have for this drill so you can get like a fuller idea of what it is to own this drill, and then we can end this video. Okay, so these are my accessories, and this is also the reason I really wanted to mention that you should always ask if they have a payment on delivery option, because the set that I saw on the website, that I chose on the website, that I requested delivery for on the website, when I made my order, like I made my order on Thursday evening, I believe it was, Friday morning, I was called and told that that set is no longer available. So if I had already paid for it, then you see there's a bit of a back and forth that's gonna happen. But because I hadn't paid for it, it's like, okay, whatever, it's not available. I'm not like emotionally invested, right? So it wasn't available, but then the guy I was dealing with was so nice. So he went out of his way to like collect different drill bits and like to collect individual parts of the set and like put it together for me. But then I did have to pay a little bit extra because these things were being sold separately. So he consolidated the cost, and I just paid a little bit extra versus actually paying for each individual item. But you see, if I'd already paid for the things that I wanted, then that would be a much more difficult conversation to have. So if you can get payment on delivery, always go for that. Or if you can't get payment on delivery, I don't think the purchase is worth it, basically. So this set came with Phillips screws. I have already ruined 3 of them, and mind you, these 3 are technically 6, because you use one side, when it's finished you flip it over and use the other side, and I've already wrecked all 6 of these sides. So yeah, this is definitely something I'm going to be restocking up on, because drilling screws into the wood, It's fine if you go slow. So with a drill, the highest setting should be for the actual drilling of the hole, and then the lower setting should be used when you're actually putting the screw into the hole that you have drilled. I hope that makes sense. So you use the drill bits for drilling the hole the correct size, and the way that you know the correct drill bit to use for the screws that you have is that you hold them up against each other, and if you can see anything more than the winding parts of the screw, then that's the wrong size. So all you should be able to see with the drill bit and the screw is the winding part. I hope that makes sense, because that's basically how I understood it in the videos. So when you're using the drill bits, I would put it on maximum strength, maximum power, maximum with the numbers that are on this drill, and go all the way in with all the power and like create a hole, right? But then when you're doing that with the screws, it ends up slipping quite a bit, and that is how I wrecked my screw bits. So yeah, you want to avoid that slippage. You want it to just fit and like go in perfectly, and the easiest way to do that is to actually like go a little bit slower, steadier, definitely better for screwing. So that is another lesson that I have learned in this process. But he did include a whole set of screw bits for me, so I do still have quite a few in here, and I'm being a lot more careful with these ones because I realized if I continue going through them at the rate at which I was going through these other ones, and I'll just have nothing left in no time, right? So there's that. And then I got this Halls Boher, whatever brand this is, of screw bits. Now I actually thought, because they look like big, black, and like very mean, right? So I thought this would be the best screw bit set available, but honestly it's not. And this is one of the ones that I broke. So it actually broke inside of the wood. I drilled all the way in, pulled up my drill, and it came up without the screw bit. So it kept leaving this bit inside the wood. Okay, not the bigger ones, but the little one, this tiny broken one, right? It kept leaving it inside the wood, which was really frustrating, and eventually it just ended up breaking. So no big loss here, because I actually realized the other set of screw bits that he included in the set for me are actually so much better. So I think the golden ones tend to be a bit stronger. Even on Amazon, I noticed there was a bit of a distinction between the golden ones and like the other types, but then I didn't know if that actually applied here or if we're just using spray paint. Like you never really know, you know. So the golden ones actually had a lot less of that remaining inside the wood thing. And then also I learned to like go in and out, in and out, in and out as I was drilling, instead of just like going all the way in, and by the time I'm coming out, the drill bit gets left inside. So I hope any of this is making any sort of sense. The golden ones are better. So if you have a choice between this and this, I would definitely go for this. So another set that he included was this one for masonry, and I think I saw this in the original set that I was buying, which is why I assumed this had the hammer function, because you need the hammer function to drill into masonry. Masonry is just concrete, so basically a wall, right? But clearly I haven't even opened these ones because I'm not drilling into walls, and this drill is not powerful enough to do that. So I actually noticed when I overused the drill, I would smell a bit of smoke, and when you're drilling, the drill bit gets so hot, like it can actually burn you. So yeah, it's I don't think, for me, who always over pushes my technological things and then ends up spoiling them, I have decided I'm not going to push this too far. So I feel like this is a really good drill for woodworking projects, but when I want to drill something into a wall, I think I'll definitely be using another person who has a masonry capable drill, basically. Cannot wait until I'm actually building drawers. I feel like that's gonna take this DIY to the next level. So I'm really excited about it, because now my next phase of projects, because right now I'm at the 6-month mark of my renovation. So I want to like sit down, take stock, and actually like talk to you about how we got here, what projects have been the most crucial to get done 6 months in, and like how we move forward from here. But in phase 2 of the renovations, I'm definitely going to be building a sink cabinet and repurposing, like reusing the sinks that I actually have now, because they're really good. I was looking at them the other day and they're really, really good, because the initial one that I wanted was like a vassal sink, but then when you put your hands on that, because it's such a thin edge, it's very uncomfortable, whereas this one actually has room for you to lay your hands on. And me, who washes my hands like 6 times at once, yeah, I need that, definitely need that. So I think I have told you enough about this drill, enough about my beautiful table. I will clear everything out and like have some b-roll shots so you can see how it's looking in relation to the TV, in relation to the white wall and the pink arches and everything. But I am excited at the progress so far, and I cannot wait to show you more. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have ideas on how I can woodwork work better, because I am always up for suggestions, always up for learning from you guys. So let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.